wow.
It's an iconic scene, isn't it, from a film that's shows sometimes that actions speak louder than words, I guess, doesn't it?
It gets me every time. I mean, this film's 27 years old. That opening sequence, it just gets me every time. Where were you when you first saw it?
Do you know, I saw it, I'll always remember, because I saw it at a preview with a group of World War II military veterans. So we watched it, there's probably 7 or 8 of them. And at the end of the film, they came out and said, look, we've seen so many World War II war films in our time, but that is the first time that we've seen something which made a serious attempt to show you what it was really like. I mean, that opening scene it's about 10 minutes without any dialogue.
No dialogue, So Saving Private Ryan, it was filmed 1997, released in 98. It was shot in Wexford, Ireland. It cost $12 million to shoot, 1,500 cast and crew, stuntmen, multiple cameras. Steven Spielberg, what a director. Yeah. Simon Crane was the stunt coordinator, and he choreographed a lot of the action on those beach landing scenes. But I first watched it, and my mate's house, he had the new surround sound system, speakers in every corner, and I thought there were bullets flying about. I was ducking on his sofa, mate, but it's amazing.
So, like, from a stuntman's perspective, a lot of the stunts that you'd be asked to do, it's just you've got a piece of action. But something like that, you've got to choreograph loads of things going on all at the same time. Does that make it multiple times harder?
Look, it's just great. Working on the big films, you're working with lots of colleagues. You're working hard, but you're having a good time as well. There's so much going on. It's just absolutely, that film is just absolutely amazing, isn't it?
And am I right in saying this was the year before you joined the Stunt Register? I bet you wish you'd joined a couple of years earlier, don't you?
Well, whether I would have got the call, I'm not sure, but there were a few films that were being made just before I joined the stunt fraternity, and that was Titanic, Gladiator, Judge Dredd with Stallone, Saving Private Ryan, and it was just a really good period to make movies, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we're talking all things fire stunts in this third episode, aren't we? What is it about fire? I mean, to me, that's my ultimate nightmare, the idea of being set on fire for a living, paid or otherwise. I'm not interested. I'm not doing any stunts today, by the way, because I've done my back in, just to get that clear.
Okay,
But from your point of view, what's going through your mind when you're asked to do that? Well, the first time you did it?
I mean, obviously, this is episode 3, fire stunts, isn't it? So we're talking everything fire in film and TV, and the last episode we talked about, cars, and the barrel roll. But with this, we are talking about a specific scene in this Saving Private Ryan opening sequence, and that is they had 2 Higgins boats. Now, Higgins boats were landing crafts. Yeah. One of the landing crafts hits the beach, and the soldiers are on fire, running out. So whatever's happened story-wise, there's 12 guys on fire. And they're all running out in 2s individually, in 3s, I think, at one point, and it was just, wow. But we'll talk to the guest who was there.
Who was one of the ones on one of the boats, yeah.
Correct, one of the 12 stuntmen. But don't underestimate the prep and the rehearsals that go into making sure that's done properly. Prior to any flame being used.
So when you prep, you don't set yourself on fire when you prep a stunt like that, do you? So
no, because obviously we'll talk about different types of fire burning in TV and film for stunts a bit later, but you have different levels of flame. So you have what's called a full burn, where you've got Nomex, which is fire retardant underclothing, fire suits, silicone masks, and you're fully engulfed. Okay, so that's what that scene was. The 12 guys running out, they were all completely flamed up, silicone masks, but they would have had, the rehearsals. It would have been a day or 2 of just dry rehearsals, we call them, where you pretend you're on fire, do your action, get to your mark, and go down as if you were being put out, as if you were on fire. So the preparation is just immense.
And when we said in the last show that car stunts are always one of the most eaggerly anticipated in a movie, they're things that people talk about. But I think fire stunts are right up there as well, aren't they?
100%, because it's visually, it looks frightening, doesn't it?
What was the first fire stunt you did? Can you remember?
Yeah, so I worked on a movie, Sunshine, Danny Boyle film. I think it was mid-2000s. And we did some fire rehearsals, and I was a fireman on fire for that. It just happened so quickly as well, you're on fire really no longer than 45 seconds. It doesn't sound like it's a long time.
I think it does, to be fair.
But, most fire burns, they use 15 seconds max of it, in the final edits, TV and film. But yeah, so you're not really on fire any longer. 10 to 45 seconds is because you're holding your breath as well. Which we'll get into.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, it's not a job for somebody that's claustrophobic, is it, I guess?
No, it's not really, no, because that silicone mask, it's like somebody putting a carrier bag on your head from Asda, cable tying it and taking all the air out of it, and you can't see out of it.
Wow, you're not selling it to me.
No,
to be honest, you're not selling it to me. So that's Saving Private Ryan scene then, where we saw the soldiers coming off the boat.
Yeah.
The ones that were at the back of the boat would have had to have been on fire for the longest, would they? Or is somebody off scene sort of just...
Well, why don't we talk to somebody who was there?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You give him the big introduction.
So a guest interview this week is a good friend of mine, Tid James. He was one of the 12 soldiers on fire, Saving Private Ryan. I say he's a good mate of mine, and he's a West Ham United football fan as well, to boot.
Well, you can't have everything in this world, can you? Everybody's got a cross to bear.
Says a Wolves fan, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I should know. I caught up with him a little bit earlier. Let's have a look. Well, Stuart, otherwise known as Tid, welcome to Unstunted. We're talking all things fire today, as you know, and we watched earlier in the show the opening scene from Saving Private Ryan, which you were front and centre of, weren't you? Just tell us all about that, because that must have taken some huge prepping and planning.
Yeah, it did. Well, first, thanks for having me, and appreciate you giving me a shout to be on here. There was a lot of planning and a lot of rehearsals in that scene, and I was fortunate enough and lucky enough to be one of the 12 names to be picked to do that sequence and that scene. There was 12 of us all on fire coming off the landing craft. And we done the whole day beforehand. We was rehearsing from morning till night, rehearsing every aspect of it. And and when we actually come to do it the following day, it was. And normally when you're doing fire stunts, we prep everything, of course, and we rehearse a lot, and we know exactly what's going on. But normal fire, you're kind of on fire for maybe 10, 20 seconds at the most, and that kind of thing. Some are shorter, some are longer, but this was a long burn. And especially for me, because I was actually right at the back of the landing craft, unfortunately. And when we actually did it, it was how we got lit. We was all prepped beforehand. I took some time prepping all the stunt guys with the gear we had to wear and gluing everybody up, which took some time. And then we all went onto the landing craft, and I was right at the back. And the way we got lit was Gary Powell had a great big long piece, basically like a 4x2, that was lit at the end. And he pushed it all the way to the back, and we kind of ignited ourselves and then just kind of done all this to make sure we was all lit. And then obviously he brought it forward so everybody was lit. Then he had to exit frame, and then action was called. And then we could go. So that took a bit of time just doing that.
Yeah.
And by the time action was called, I'm pretty much, I'm waiting there. And now I've got to wait for everybody else to clear the landing craft. And I'm like, come on, guys, hurry up.
Yeah. And how much can you actually, when you talk about rehearsing it, when you're rehearsing, are you actually using fire then, or is it just
no? We're rehearsing. We're not. It's all we rehearse it. We're not on fire. We all rehearse going through exactly step by step, and we're all imagine we're on fire, but we've all got to do our action, because what Steven Spielberg wanted was all to come off, and then was just trying to rip all our costumes off and all our equipment, and we had to try and get rid of them. We're on fire, and then you got to hit your end mark, because we had, I think it was, if I can remember rightly, we had 2 stunt guys and a fireman was going to put us out at the end, and we had to hit our end mark. So we had to know exactly where our end mark was.
How easy is it to keep your bearings when you are actually on fire to do that stuff?
When you're rehearsing, it's no problem because you know exactly where your end mark is. Yeah. And even though we're on the beach, so everything is just sand everywhere, but we kind of knew where our end mark was. But once you're on fire, all you see is just orange in front of your eyes. We wore all everyone had fireproof mask. So, and they're very kind of like a bit claustrophobic, and you kind of like got a bit of a tunnel vision, so you can't really see much. And then you've got all the orange flames in front of you, so it was really difficult to actually see your end mark. And as I say, by the time I got off the landing craft, that was a good 10-15 seconds. So by the time we actually did a sequence, it was between 30 and 40 seconds we was actually on fire. Thankfully, I hit me mark, and the guys put me out. But I remember one stunt guy, I won't mention his name, afterwards, he came up to me, he said, how'd you find that, Tiddler? I said, well, to be quite honest, mate, I said, I was struggling at the end. I said, he went, so was I. He said, I was running back into the sea to put myself out. So, yeah, it was a big burn there, and it was a big job. And actually, Steven Spielberg, after we cut, he actually said, that's the shot of the movie. That's the shot of the movie. And that's all he kept repeating. And I was thinking, wow, this is going to be something in the actually film. But when he had 5 cameras rolling on that sequence, and I thought it was just going to be like fantastic. But when we actually saw it, because lucky enough, I was invited to Pinewood. All the stunts were invited to Pinewood Studios to have a special screening before actually the cast and crew screening. So I went up to Pinewood and we watched it. And when it came to the bit where we knew we was going to, the fire was coming, he only used that one shot, was just a profile of Tom Hanks. We were behind, and at first I was like, oh, he had 5 cameras going on that, but then when I realised he wasn't looking for Hollywood and a great big fire burn with all different angles, he was looking for drama, because it was haunting. And that's what he wanted, just that haunting in the background. These guys just coming off on fire, and that's why he does his job and I do mine.
It's such a powerful scene, isn't it? Where was it shot? Was it Ireland that you shot it?
We shot that first 20 minutes was in Wexford, in Southern Ireland. Yeah, we spent 5 weeks there. It was 5 weeks just to do that opening 20 minutes. We had a week's rehearsal of everything from the opening sequence on the landing craft, getting shot, getting set on fire, getting on the beach, getting blown up, getting shot, and then coming up to then breaching the cliffs to do it. And that took another 4 weeks to shoot that opening 20 minutes. Yeah.
What's Simon like to work with?
Intense.
You've sort of got to be, haven't you? You've got to be when you're doing that job, so.
Yeah, especially if you're doing big films, especially if you're, working with Steven Spielberg, and Tom Hanks is the lead character. They're big films, so. But he's a lovely man. But yeah, everything's he's got to be. We've got to be there. And I remembered there actually when we were on the beach, there was 93 steps that we used to climb up every day to go back to lunch. I remember because we climbed them every single day, and they walked about 200 yards to the base. But we never had a full hour's lunch break. We was just like, okay, back to the beach. Yeah. We had to put all the gear back on, back in the sea, getting shot again. That was really intense. The whole film, actually, the whole shoot was really intense. So I actually doubled one of the actors as well on it, and so yeah, I was on it from start to finish.
Right, keeps you fit. This job definitely, doesn't it? Now, I want to talk to you about a job which I know that Justin Pearson was involved with you on as well. Out in Casablanca in Morocco, it's like one of these pranksters, isn't it? Ramiz Plays with Fire, was it called?
Ramez Galal. Yeah, that was a job. That was Ramez Galal. He's an Egyptian. He's a comedian, singer, entertainer, actor, but he does these prank shows. which are really intense prank shows as well. They're nothing like Jeremy Beadle, prank shows. These are big. And I got this job off of Greg Powell. And he sent me out there to Casablanca, first of all, because he was going to do it, but then he got sidelined on another job, a big film. So he said, "You can do that, Tid." I said, "Okay, mate." And there was this prank show that he does, and he pranks all his celebrity friends. And
we're talking proper A-list celebrities here, aren't we? Antonio Banderas and Steven Seagal and loads of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I'd watched a couple of his prank shows before, because they sent me some prank shows, and like he had some big stars on it before, and Paris Hilton. But on this one, he had Antonio Banderas and Steven Seagal on it as well. But we pretty much took over the top 6 floors of this hotel, massive hotel. And we pretty much set it on fire and blew it up every single day, twice a day.
Listen, I was going to say, before you go into the detail of that, let's have a little look at the trailer that just gives a taste of exactly the carnage that you created. Have a look at this.
يلعب بالنار رامز في الشر دمار رامز بيلعب بالنار خدت كتير وديت مع نفسي ودماغي اتزحمت افكار اللي اعمله في صحابي يخلي اتخن واحد يقلب بار فكرت كثيرا وكثيرا اخذت شهيقا وزفيرا فجأة عيوني لمعت واحمرت ولقيتهم
So you got cameras everywhere, you'd got stunt people everywhere, and I guess you're talking about rehearsing for Saving Private Ryan. You couldn't do too much rehearsal of this then, I guess, could you?
Well, we kind of did, because when I was talking to the producers and the directors, and obviously Ramez, the star, they said, "How are we going to do this?" I said, "Well, we're going to need rehearsals." I said, "We're going to need a lot of stunt guys and girls, because all the stunt guys and girls were actually just playing hotel residents, and they was involved." And what happened, they got a celebrity, and all they thought they was going to be taken up to this hotel room to have an interview about their upcoming film or TV show or whatever. So they go into this room, and they're just chatting away, and there's a couple of waitresses. We had a couple of stunt guys, a stunt guy and a girl in there as well, and they was waiting for the interviewer to come in. But of course, things happen. I think one of them, they said it was a bit hot in here. So one of the waitresses went over and tried to turn down the air conditioner or something, and a big spark happens. We had a lovely, fantastic special effects team out there as well. Yeah. That sparked, and the room just then went up in flames. Smoke went up in flames. So they all started panicking. And then that led to Ramez. He's doing his bit, because he does bits of camera. Yeah. On his show, and he talks, and then he goes in. He's dressed as a fireman to rescue this celebrity, victim. That's what they were. And from then onwards, coming out of that room, then we just had explosions, people on fire, going to the fire exit, because obviously when there's a fire in a hotel or any building, you normally go down, but we couldn't make them go down, so we had stunts coming up with big explosions coming up the stairwell to make them go up to the roof, and everywhere up until the roof there was just fire and everything. We had guys with prosthetics on, they got explosions were going off, and half their faces getting ripped off, and it was serious stuff, and they was just literally getting scared witless. And then
you can see some of it on YouTube, can't you? There's footage of it. Did all the celebs fall for it?
Pretty much, yeah. They all literally. Well, the thing was, the first time it happened, when they realised, because at the end, when they finally got to the roof, then we had a Moroccan army helicopter flying over, and that was going to rescue them. Never was. But as we're trying to call the helicopter to land, we had enormous explosions going off on the roof, and on the third one, everybody just dropped down dead. and just left the celebrity just going like a spare one at a wedding, going, "What's going on here?" And then, of course, it revealed. And once they revealed, they literally just beat the. Ramez took his fireman's mask off and realised it. When they realised it was him, they just beat the crap out.
I was going to say, I'm not surprised he didn't get physically assaulted for doing that.
Oh, he did, yeah. And, the first times the stunt guys tried to save him. And I actually afterwards, because we had a little bit of a meeting after every show to make sure that if there was any problems, because we was doing this twice a day, it's basically live shows. And I said, don't stop him. I said, if they want to punch him, if they want to kick him, let them do it. I said, it's gold to them. That's what they want. So, yeah, and every day he said, I've got bruises on my ribs. I went, it's your fault. Look at what you're doing to them. I said, you're scaring them out of their wits.
But also, if you're taking over a hotel and you're doing this a couple of times a day, I guess the other aspect of this fire stunt is that you've got to make sure you don't damage the property as well. You've got to leave it as you found it. That's a challenge as well. Isn't it?
Again, that's the challenge. I mean, like, special effects made sure that all the explosions, the walls of the hotel was protected. And I thought to myself, how am I going to get a guy on fire coming around the corner and scaring the celebrity? But I can't. Then I'm thinking, well, we've got to make sure that he's got put out properly. So I designed this thing to have a big trench coat that was on fire, that as he come around the corner and he was just moving about, the trench coat and they were just whipping flames up, which looked fantastic and scared the celebrity. But as soon as the celebrity went past, all the guy had to do was just literally unhook it off his shoulders. Another stunt performer put it out with an extinguisher. Then they could carry on up the journey. And that's what we did. And we had, I think it was about 25, 30 stunts, girls and guys, involved in it, and there was all strategically placed throughout the course of the hotel floors, and we had like a bit of a team leader. We had comms, covert comms in arrears, and I had to literally was on the radio, and I said because we had 78 cameras running, and I said to them, I need to see where that celebrity goes every time. Wherever he goes, as soon as he turns a corner, I need to see where they are. And we had 78 cameras, and I had a bank of monitors so I could see. And I was just in communication comms with all the stunts throughout it.
Jeremy Beadle never had 78 cameras. It's in a different league.
Totally different league.
So listen very quickly then. What's the best? What do you get the most fulfillment out of? Choreographing an event where other people are setting themselves on fire like that, or doing the stunts yourself?
It's a bit of, but I did this music video because after that the Casablanca job, I had a job come up with this music video, and I was working at a time on a show, I can't remember what it was, and was working with a really lovely stunt guy, Dave Garrick. And I said, Dave, you want to do a music video next week? And he set on fire. He went, yeah. So we pretty much done the same thing. With this trench coat, and the actual music video looked fantastic, and I love setting it up and being able to coordinate it and organise it. But as he was doing it, I was like, wish I was doing that, because I really wanted it. Yeah, so I love doing it, but also it's nice to be able to set it all up and design new stuff as well. So it's good.
And there's a reason, isn't there, why fire stunts like that always, I mean, we were talking about car stunts in the last episode of Unstunted. Driving stunts and fire stunts always seem to be the two things that people remember the most from movies, aren't they?
Yeah, because they give the biggest impacts to the audience. As soon as you see a car crashing or turning over, the audience immediately reacts. And it's the same with fire as well. An audience will react to that. But you just literally make sure that you prep it really well and you rehearse it and everything, and you give 100% focus. You just spend so much more time with the big stunts, like the big car stunts and the fire stunts. And they always go to plan. It's just the silly little jobs that you do, tripping arse over tit, and that's when you like do an ankling or a wristing. It's always them little jobs.
Sod's law, isn't it? That. Listen,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time. It's been great to catch up with you. It's great to have you on Unstunted and giving us a proper perspective of particularly what that Saving Private Ryan shoot was all about. So thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, Carl, and I wish you all the best for future podcasts. It's going to
Thank
be
you very
fun.
much. Thank
Well,
you.
No problem, mate.
What a great interview. That really well spoke, wasn't he?
He's a top man. I mean,
Yeah.
and he gave a real sort of
Yeah.
first-hand impression of what was going on. I think he sounded like he was in awe of what was happening on that beach scene, to be honest.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and obviously Rames Plays with Fire was the mental production that we shot in Morocco, Casablanca.
yeah. We talk a bit
Yeah.
more about that, because I mean, this is like for people that don't know the show. It's like a sort of Jeremy Beadle style prankster thing.
Yes.
On a massive
High octane
scale,
Jeremy
isn't it?
Beadle,
So-
yeah. So 70 cameras. So as Tidge just alluded to it, so we commandeered a hotel block, 28, 30 floors, something like that, 25 floors. The top 5 or 6 floors had been prepped with special effects stunts. For 3, we had that for 3 weeks. So basically, the whole idea was we would get the celebrity flown in, and we had Steven Seagal, Antonio Banderas, Mido, remember that footballer?
Mido footballer,
used to play in the
Middlesbrough,
Premier League,
didn't he?
yeah. And a load of it's an Egyptian production, so a lot of Egyptian stars as well, presenters and actors and so on. So they were flown into Casablanca for a production meeting, or no expense spared. Picked up from the airport, driven to the lobby of the hotel, taken up to floor 20 or whatever it was, in this production room where there's a security guard, there's some admin. The room starts flaming up. There's the TV sparks, sets fire to the room. The fire spreads, and then basically Rames is the Jeremy Beadle character.
Yeah.
He runs in in a fireman's outfit. And these celebrities are, first of all, they're taken out of the room down this corridor, where the first thing that happens is a stuntman gets blown. An explosion left to right in front of them. They're going, what the fuck is that? And then sort of like they compose themselves, herded down it's all smoke going off, the vision's not, and then there's a guy who's literally on fire, screaming his head off, running around the corner at them with another guy trying to put him out with a CO2 cylinder. So I was doing that with a guy called Reg. We were alternating who was on fire and who was putting the person out with the CO2.
Yeah.
But you would run up, if you had the CO2, you would run up the celebrity, miss the guy on fire, and squirt them all in the face with the CO2. And that was just the start of their problems.
So, I mean, aside from the massive production scale of that, you're running a risk of seriously traumatising the celeb in question. I mean, what happens when Rames reveals himself? He must have got punched a couple of times.
That was just it. So so they come out the corridor and they're going up the stairwells then, and people are getting burnt, faces getting blown off and all that. They're taken to the roof where everyone's from the hotels on the roof, waving to whoever. Explosions, massive explosions are going off. And then right at the end of the last explosion, Rames reveals himself, and they go to beat him up. Right?
I'm not surprised.
As Tid said, there is the first time, Rames went to get beaten up by this guy who was going to kill him. Stunt guys were trying to stop, and they didn't want that. They want Rames getting beaten up black and blue.
They want the reaction, don't they?
Yeah.
So how many times did you do this?
So so we had a week of rehearsals, and we did 2 weeks of. So basically, it was 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So we were staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
So we'd wake up, go to breakfast, go out and about, have a bit of lunch, and then go up a couple of floors in our costumes. It's like a ghost train. If you've been out on a ghost train, if you keep going around on a ghost train, it's the same action, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first corner is a ghost coming out. It's the same fright there. It was by the end of the 3 weeks, it was a well-oiled machine.
But how do you make it look realistic in a real hotel like that without damaging the building?
Well, obviously Tid was stunt coordinator on it,
Yeah.
and he was the mastermind. He was in a control room, watching multiple cameras, telling people, go, go, go. They're coming round the corner, bam, 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 bam.
So have you all got earpieces in then? Is that how it works?
We were in different sections. We had a radio.
Right.
So we knew once the mark had gone past, all we did was we joined the back of the queue as revelers going, we need to get to the roof, like that.
Yeah.
So by the time we got to the roof, there was 30 people there going,
So you mentioned a little bit earlier about Nomex that you put
Yeah.
on and sort of protective clothing. Are there different kinds of setups for different kind of fire burns? How does it work?
Yeah, so different fire burns, spoke about it briefly. So the full fire burn is you have layers of Nomex. Nomex is undergarment, which they designed, I believe, for racing car drivers back in the day. So we use one set of dry, one set of wet. Wet is being put in a bucket of like kind of Zell gel overnight. It's got aloe vera properties, and then you put that underneath. So you put the wet on first on your naked skin.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Then the dry layers. Then your fire suit, and then any costume that's been flame retarded overnight.
Right. So you got muscle, but you bulked up then with a lot of
Yeah,
stuff. Right?
yeah. So I did a full fire burn in Shrewsbury, Shropshire Prison a year or two ago. Should you have a little look at that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look.
And so that was 2 layers of Nomex, fire suit. I was a prison officer, so they give me 4 layers of costume.
Wow.
Right, including a gilet with a zip.
Yeah.
That was the last thing. So I had like a shirt and tie, a jumper, a coat, a gilet.
Yeah.
Did the fire burn, and I actually went down to be put out. My zip had melted.
Oh.
So I'd
okay.
taken my last breath,
Yeah.
and then nobody had anything to cut the zip away. So I think it was about 20, 25 seconds where they cut it so I could get the mask up to take my breath. And I wasn't too happy about that.
How
to be
scary
honest.
was that?
It was more scary than doing the burn, mate.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I guess at the moment like that, you've just got to trust that you are in the hands of professionals who know what they're doing and they've got your back, really, haven't you? So
Yeah. So
how many burns do you think you've done then?
probably 50. Probably 40 professionally on camera, 10 in rehearsals.
Is it possible to say
Yeah.
that it's something you like doing or not? Is it? Do you get an adrenaline rush from
It's
doing
one of
it,
those
or-
things. Once you get comfortable with it, you can just keep doing it. Ching ching.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't hurt
No, but
unless you've got a piece of action where you're required to fall out of a lorry or
yeah,
fall down some stairs on fire.
it's the psychological thing. Can you actually see when you're, if you're doing a full burn? Can you see?
Well, this. Well, I'll just show you this picture now. This is the silicone mask I wore at Shrewsbury Prison. So you see the 2 eye holes. One's completely burnt out.
Yeah.
It's perspex. It's fire retardant perspex.
Yeah.
So when I actually did it, all you could see was just orange. But we'd rehearsed my route as the prison officer on fire. We'd rehearsed it coming out of the side, bouncing off of gates, going there, hitting the wall, bouncing back again before going down. So we did that again back to the dry rehearsals with no fire. So I knew the way to do it,
Yeah.
looking through this one orange little lens.
Wow. Yeah, you're still not selling it to me. I'm
No.
afraid. Because isn't it sort of ironically? Wasn't your dad a fireman? Or was he involved in the fire
Yes,
service?
so my old man, Tony, he was a full-time fireman all his working life, and in Shrewsbury, back to Shropshire again. And he, randomly, there was a movie back in the day called Backdraft.
I remember it. Kurt
it-
Russell was in that one.
Kurt
Yeah,
Russell,
yeah.
William, one of the Baldwin brothers.
Yeah.
Yep. William, I think
it was, yeah.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah.
I can't remember him anything else really, mate. But so my dad and his fireman buddies were at the Shrewsbury cinema promoting that film.
Were they? So there you go. Your movies is in your blood then.
Yeah,
is it?
it's like, well, no one's running around on fire. What? But
Are there other films that you remember with iconic?
Well, you tell
fire
me. You're
scenes
the
in
film
them?
guy.
I mean, the first
Yeah.
one I remember really is the Towering Inferno. I remember seeing that because
Yeah.
that, we're going back to like the 70s.
Who-
aren't we?
who was the-
Paul Newman and Steve McQueen and this sort of big tower block that
Oh,
was
yes.
that was
Yeah.
on fire, and
Yeah.
and that was the pyrotechnics are virtually through 2/3 of the movie,
Yeah.
and that was at the time when special effects were nowhere near as sophisticated
Yeah.
as they are now. I worry now that people think that because everything can be CGI'd, that
Yeah,
stuff isn't being done for real.
When you joined the British Stunt Register, I've been professional 25 years, and when you first do all your training and you get your stripes and then you're a fully fledged stunt performer, you're encouraged to do what's called an observation day. So there's a guy in our industry, he's very well known, Greg Powell. So where they just finished filming Private Ryan in Hatfield, Hertfordshire, they kept all the sets up for Band of Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, so my observation day was a really good one. Yeah. So Greg Powell was stunt coordinator. There must have been 20, 30 guys. And the first episode of Band of Brothers where the planes are going over and they're all jumping out in parachutes, it was a 10 to 15, 20-man fire burn, whereas they're sat in the plane and it gets hit by anti-aircraft bomb, right? So... and then the fire goes, and they all have to wear that. So I was there as a young stunt guy watching this scene, and it was like, Jesus, it scared the bejeebies out of me just watching it.
How did it compare to what you thought it would be like?
Well, it was probably the first real stunt that I'd seen to that magnitude. Yeah. It was very well rehearsed, very well done by Greg. Some really good stunt performers there, and it got hot. That flame was huge, and it was like, wow, this is brilliant.
Is that the moment you thought, this industry's for
I
me?
love it.
This
Yeah,
is what
it was
I want
great.
to do.
Yeah,
because you set yourself on fire for the front cover picture of your autobiography, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
And haven't some people said to you, "Oh, that's CGI"?
Well, it was-
that's Photoshop. That is.
Should we have a look at that picture again?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So, so you can see why people say it is photoshopped, because it's me walking in a suit and shirt on fire.
I was there when you did it. I know it wasn't. Tid was involved in it as well, wasn't
Tid
he?
was
So-
coordinating it,
yeah.
wasn't he? Yeah. So I remember the first couple, they didn't really take, did it? It was a bit windy outside, wasn't
That's
it?
right,
And then we thought, right, we've got one more suit that's been flame retarded.
Yeah.
I bought it from Next or M&S or something. And right, so the glue is what you set fire to. You put the glue on the costume, and that's an accelerant, and that's what you set fire to.
So that was one where you can decide which bits of you
Well, we had to
you
go
want
bigger,
to
didn't
set
we?
on fire, didn't you? And it was
Yeah.
across your back and your shoulders and your arms, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that was we got the shot, but it was like it got warm quickly because it licked around. I think the flame there, but that wasn't photoshopped. That was
It is for real. Absolutely.
Nomex.
for real.
Yeah. Nomex, 2 layers of Nomex under the suit. Yeah.
So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about one of the most recent cinema releases that's dominated by fire, The Lost Bus, Matthew McConaughey film. We've both seen this, haven't we?
Yeah, this
based on a
episode's-
true story.
Yes, The Lost Bus, yeah. So Matthew McConaughey, I've actually worked with him 2 or 3 times, The Gentleman, and back in the day, Rain of Fire Back Dragons, which obviously had a lot of fire in as well. But he's a great actor. You think about some of the good stuff he's done. I could watch him all day long. He's very method. But The Lost Bus. So we should have a look at the trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. Directed by Paul Greengrass. Here we go.
Hey, buddy. Come here, buddy.
You okay?
Struggling, man. Can't seem to catch a break.
I thought that I'd be safe here. Follow the rules. And nothing bad could truly happen.
I spent my entire life trying to escape. then after a few years, my life turned to shame. When I first got the call to go pick up the kids, I started to think that maybe I could earn a second chance. But it's too late for second chances.
It's not too late. I want my daddy.
He's doing everything he can to get to you.
We gotta get these kids out of here.
Tell them to save lives wherever they can. That's all we can do now.
I have 22 kids on that bus. I gotta get them to the parents. Hang on!
Excellent, yeah. Greengrass, he's come a long way since Heartbeat, isn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He's reinvented himself completely, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He looks a bit dishevelled, just the same as Claude.
Yeah.
Maybe they're cousins. What I think's really interesting about that film is when you hear Paul Greengrass talk, he talks about how some of that in that film is real footage, some of it is studio stuff,
And
some of it is
stunty, yeah, close up, a couple of guys on fire. But that film is actually a true story, isn't it? So it's based on the 2018 California wildfire, which unfortunately claimed 103 lives. But and that actually did happen. So a guy drove a bus full of kids out of that scenario. Fair play to him. So and I've listened to him, that guy, since. You know, talk about that. He's still in the area, you know, absolutely. But what did you think of the film?
I look at the film probably slightly differently to you. I look at it as in terms of the telling of a story and the balancing of action with character. I thought it was really good, and like you, I think Matthew McConaughey's totally believable. As a guy who's determined and he's stuck in this scenario and he can't see a way out, but he's going to try and find one. But I get from your point of view, you must watch a film and be looking at, have they done that? Has it actually
you watch it from, okay, well, that's stock footage, that's real footage, that's stock footage, that's wider shot, that's mid shot, there's a stunt guy on fire, you know, so you're watching it from that point of view. But I try and get away from that. I try and watch it as a customer as well.
Can you do that? Is it?
You can, yes. I love my films.
Is that? I mean, do you have to pinch yourself sometimes to think about what you've actually done in your career now?
Yeah. Do you know what? I've had a good ride. But I tell you which films are easy to watch. One's shot in America, as opposed to one's shot in the UK.
Why do you say that?
Because I've never actually. Yeah, I've done a bit of work in the States on the West Coast, LA and that. But I've never actually worked on a film in the States. Whereas I've worked on 200 films in the UK in 25 years. So I know all the locations in the UK. I know all the people in the UK. You know, with America, it's that kind of... Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. So it's almost like it's not part of quite the same part of your industry, so you can watch it more impartially, I suppose.
Yeah.
We mentioned that Saving Private Ryan came a year or so before you joined the Stunt Register.
Yeah.
Are there any other movies that you wish you'd have loved to have had a crack at that maybe happened before?
Not so much that,
involved?
but I'll talk about, there was a TV series called The Bastard Executioner, and it was kind of a 10-episode medieval hack and slash. Horses, Ed Sheeran was in it.
Yeah.
So I had to ride to the battle on a horse with Ed Sheeran and a few of the other guys, get off the horse, and then I was his bodyguard through the battle to a point where I'd been set on fire by the enemy. I don't know where Sheeran went, probably on his guitar up on the cliff. There were paparazzi in helicopters in this remote area of Pembrokeshire, by the way.
Were there?
Yeah, over this. So we're like hacking and slashing battle scene, and there's helicopters flying above. And so Sheeran's chipped off. I think he's been killed. I don't know. But, so I'm now on fire, crawling towards this river, where Brian Nichols, another stunt guy, unfortunately he's not with us anymore. He's on the other side. He ran up to me and he was trying to kill me with his club. So his club was latex, kind of polystyrene. But I was on fire at the time. Brian was saying he was trying to hit me that hard, he was trying to put the flame out. So I wasn't worried about being on fire. I was more worried about him putting my shoulder out.
Smacking you to pieces. Yeah.
Smacking the shit out of me with this club. But yeah, all fun and games. Yeah, I just thought I'd drop that one in. That was a good show to
Well,
work
and
on.
good that you have, because
Yeah.
you've sort of eased the way into us previewing the next show, haven't
Yes.
you, where we're going to be talking
Yeah.
about horse-related stunts, which we won't give away all the material, but I mean that was your first love, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm a horse guy.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that in. But just going back, with not teaching people to suck eggs, or they've heard it all before. But Unstunted is going to be looking at recreating the iconic cinema classic stunt sequences.
Yeah.
With modern technology, cameras, see how we get on with it.
Yeah.
So episode 4 is horse stunts, and we're looking at the John Ford directed John Wayne film Stagecoach.
Stagecoach, yeah.
And it's got 2 of the most iconic stunts in cinema history in that film.
Which have been copied and imitated and
Yes.
homaged so many times, haven't
Yes,
they?
yeah.
But we'll reveal all that next time, shall we?
Brilliant.
Shall we go off and find something else to do?
Yeah, should go
I'll
for a
take my
pint.
fire extinguisher. You can go
Yeah.
have a beer.
Nice one.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, see ya.